Okay, right, today we're going to have a really quick look at the basic technique of using polystyrene printing. This stuff can be called press print or safe print, and you buy large smooth polystyrene tiles like this. Just for this basic one I've cut myself a small piece. It just cuts really easily with scissors, and you draw your design directly on it. You want a pencil that's not too sharp. If it's too sharp, you will slice through the whole tile and it will break. You're just trying to make indentations in the surface of the tile. So for my design today, we're going to be looking at drawing a little pineapple. You can hear it's crunching slightly as I'm pressing in with my pencil, and you can see it's leaving a dint where my pencils pressing in have not gone all the way through the tile. Most printing works on the idea that you leave a mixture of raised surface and low surface, and the ink and the paper will only touch the raised parts that you leave behind. So with press print, with this polystyrene tile, everywhere that I draw with my pencil will stay white when I apply my ink. I'm going to put some spiky leaves on the top, just going to be really simple so I can show you the technique. You can obviously take more time, add more details, whatever you need to do. Obviously the tiles come right up to an A4 size, so you can do your design any size you need to do as well. The ink we're using is a block printing ink. It's the same sort of thing you'd use for a colo print or a lino block print. You can get a similar effect using paints and things like that, but really this is good and thick, and that's what makes it successful printing ink. We've got a brayer or a roller and an ink tray. I think lots of people think these are just big flat paint palettes. If you've got them in your school, they're for printing, and they work really, really well. So you want a small blob of ink. It will go a long way. You don't need a lot. I suspect, you know, if you're working in a school, you'll probably want one of these trays per table for each colour. You can share them then. It's water-based, but it still gets pretty messy. I would be putting newspaper down and protecting your clothes and your table as well. Okay, when you're rolling out your ink, you make some contact with it with the roller and start spreading it out. You can leave the blob at the end. I think my roller needs oiling as well. That's going to squeak as well. And what you're aiming for is a nice flat area of ink. And if you can hear through the squeaking, it makes a sort of crackly, sticky noise. You do have to work it for a bit to get it nice and even. You can see I've got a hole there. I don't think this tray is particularly flat. Okay, that's getting there now. Now, as you can see, I haven't used all that ink I put out. There's still some here in the pile. There's a good coating of ink on my roller, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so I've just grabbed a piece of scrap paper. That's because I want to print onto this white background here. And when I roll the ink onto my tile, it will go over the edge a little bit. So there we are, nice pan roller. I'm just going to roll it. I'm not pressing too hard, but you can see I am going backwards and forwards to make sure my whole tile's covered. And that hopefully you can see already that the ink's not managing to touch some areas where I've drawn. Okay, Oh, I still got it on my background. Look, this is why you need to be more careful. You won't be working in such a small area, so hopefully you can set up a messy inking area and then carry your tile to where you want to print. I've done this both ways. At the moment I like to put my tile down onto the paper and just press evenly, firmly. I'm not trying to squash that polystyrene though, because I want to keep those indentations that stay white. And you can gently peel it away, and there you've got your print. Now, a couple of quick things to note. That's looking really good. My ink's not very even, but you can see where I drew with the pencil line, that's the white bit that's left behind. I'm already really messy and we've only done one print, so I would take my advice when it comes to covering your clothes. When you peel your tile back like that, it can snap if you're not really gentle with it, because the ink's really sticky. It wants to stick to the paper, so go carefully, try not to snap your tile, because the great thing about printing is that you should be able to repeat the process and make the same print again. And that is obviously the advantage of this, is you can start to build up a pattern. If you work with a friend, you can do a checkerboard of different patterns, you can work on a much bigger design. This is really just a simple demonstration of how to make a print with a polystyrene tile. Have a look at my other videos for ideas on designing them and ways to get even a 2-colour print with this technique. Have fun. Bye.